Imagine a place where every thought you've ever had, every emotion, every action, every mistake, and every triumph is permanently written into the fabric of the universe. A cosmic library that holds the history of every soul who has ever lived, and even the future possibilities that have yet to unfold. Edgar Cayce called this the Akashic Record. In this video, we're going to explore what Cayce said about this mysterious archive, what it is, how it works, and, most importantly, what it means for your own spiritual journey. We'll explore stories from Cayce's readings, insights into karma and soul memory, and how this book of life is guiding every step of your evolution. But first, let's step back and meet the man himself. Edgar Cayce, born in 1877 and passing in 1945, has been called the Sleeping Prophet, the father of holistic medicine and the most documented psychic of all time. For over 4 decades, Cayce would place himself into a deep, trance-like sleep, fold his hands across his stomach, and allow his mind to roam beyond the limits of space and time. From this state, he answered thousands of questions about health, about lost civilizations like Atlantis, about past lives, and, most mysteriously, about the Akashic Records. Now, here's the question that will keep you leaning forward. How did Cayce describe the records themselves? Were they books? Were they visions? Were they memories replayed like films? And, maybe most important, can you learn to access them too? Hold on to that thought. Let's first paint the picture of what Cayce claimed the Akashic actually was. Cayce explained that the Akashic Records are not a dusty collection of books sitting in some heavenly library. Instead, they are woven into the very skein of time and space. Every action, thought, or desire creates a vibration, an imprint that becomes part of this eternal field. Sensitive souls like Cayce could read these vibrations as clearly as you or I might read words on a page. To illustrate, he told an 18-year-old girl that the Akashic is like a movie theater. Imagine watching every scene of your past lives replayed on a screen, not just as images, but as living experiences. You'd not only see what you did, you'd feel what you felt, and even sense how others experienced you. That's how complete these records are. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Cayce said the Akashic doesn't just record the past, it also calculates probable futures. Think about that. Your thoughts and actions right now are rippling out into infinite possible timelines, and the Akashic keeps track of them all. So the real question becomes, are we trapped by these records, or can we change what's written? According to Cayce, karma is not punishment from outside, it's simply memory. Just as you carry emotional scars from childhood into adulthood, your soul carries imprints from past lives into the present. These memories are the karma that shapes your tendencies, fears, talents, and even the relationships you attract. He emphasized something radical. Karma isn't between people, it's between you and yourself. Others are simply mirrors, helping you encounter parts of your own soul memory that you must face. This is why we often feel drawn, sometimes against our will, into certain relationships or circumstances. On the surface, it may look like fate, but Cayce said it's really your own soul arranging a meeting with itself. One of the most remarkable examples comes from a boy who, at age 4, picked up a seashell on a beach and asked his nanny, "Can a person's face be the color of a conch shell?" Years later, in a Cayce reading, it was revealed this boy had been none other than John Jay, America's first Supreme Court Justice, who once famously described a woman's beauty by comparing it to the inside of a conch shell. That seemingly random memory was actually karmic memory surfacing from a past life. If you resonate with the message in this video, write yes in the comments. Also, consider becoming a monthly supporter through a Telos membership to help this channel find more time to create videos. Your support keeps this space alive. So how are the records created? Cayce explained that every thought or action sends out a vibration, and this vibration writes itself upon the ether of space and time. It's as though the universe itself is a living tape recorder. He compared it to how sound waves are captured on a phonograph record, or how a radio signal fills the air waiting for a receiver. The Akashic is always transmitting. The only question is, are we attuned enough to listen? And here's the shocking part. Cayce insisted that everyone has access to the records, not just prophets or psychics. We glimpse them in dreams, déjà vu, deep meditation, and in those moments of sudden intuition that seem to come from nowhere. But Cayce didn't stop there. He hinted at something that feels almost science fiction. One day, humanity itself will awaken to the Akashic consciously. He said it will be more revolutionary than television, the computer, or even the iPhone. Imagine living in a world where nothing is hidden, where every soul can see the entire truth of who we have been and where we are going. How would relationships look if we could no longer hide from our own records? Cayce himself described powerful visions while entering the records. He said he would leave his body and rise as a small point of light, following a beam upward through many levels of existence. He would pass grotesque forms, then human-like shapes, then brighter and brighter beings, until finally he arrived at a great hall. There, a wise old man would hand him a book, the record of the person he was reading for. It's no wonder the Bible speaks of the book of life. Cayce simply gave us the mechanics behind the metaphor. So why does this matter? What's the purpose of the Akashic? Cayce said its sole function is to assist in the growth and transformation of the soul. The universe is orderly, God is love, and each of us is created as a soul to become a companion and co-creator with the divine. The records are there to remind us where we've been, what lessons we've learned, and what we still need to master. They are not there to punish, but to guide. Now imagine with me, what happens when humanity begins to consciously access these records together? Secrets dissolve, skeletons in closets are revealed. Suddenly, we would have no choice but to forgive, because we'd see that we've all stumbled across many lives in our attempts to find love. Cayce warned, a reckoning is coming, not in fire and brimstone, but in the awakening of empathy. Already, you can feel it. People are becoming more sensitive to each other's emotions and energy. That's the Akashic whispering through our subconscious, preparing us for the day when it becomes fully conscious. So how do you access the Akashic for yourself? Cayce suggested meditation, prayer, and aligning with your highest ideal. He believed it's not about rituals or certifications, it's about vibration. The more your thoughts and actions harmonize with love, service, and truth, the more you naturally tune into the records. And remember, the Akashic communicates in the language you understand best. For Cayce, it was books and halls. For you, it may be music, visions, dreams, or simply a quiet knowing. The key is openness. If you liked the video, click on thumbs up, and I'd love to hear your experiences. Have you ever touched the Akashic Record? In meditation, in a dream, or through a strange déjà vu that felt like a memory from another life? Share in the comments. Let's treat this space like a living laboratory of the soul. Edgar Cayce gave us a gift, the reminder that we are not blind wanderers. The Akashic Records are always with us, always guiding, always recording, not as a judge, but as a compassionate teacher. In the end, every soul is on the same journey, to remember that we are loved, that we are eternal, and that our true destiny is to awaken as conscious companions of the Creator. The Akashic is simply the diary of that great unfolding,